Hey, hello everybody. Um, I started like a minute before time. Can you believe that? Welcome everybody. Welcome. This is the start of the stream. This is the Thursday Mixdown. We're gonna take it super easy and we're gonna mix some techno from Mike Reynolds. Nobody else than Mike Reynolds. Okay. So I'm taking my time to just test things. No particular reason. Hi Marco, how are you doing? And I've set up all that I wanted to set up. Although I don't see it here. I know it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We're good. We're good to go. So let me instantiate the usual stuff before we start the stream. Things like that, as usual. Here we go. So, how are you? The day. Hi, Mike. Mike is here. So let's set things up first because I haven't imported the tracks. I just have my template. Everything is kind of clean, but the template isn't. So welcome everybody. This is the Thursday Mixdown. I believe this is episode 9, but I am having serious issues understanding the episodes because the space-time continuum keeps breaking around me, and I don't know how much I'll be able to stay here in front of you. I guarantee you this is kind of an elaborate metaphor for saying that life is throwing at me things. So I am particularly happy to be able to do these live streams. You won't believe, you wouldn't, no, probably you can believe how appreciative I am to be able to do this. Okay, so whenever I'm here, all the problems, all the things, life in general, just completely disappear. And this is, I couldn't ask for a better thing. So thank you for being here from the start, Marco and Mike. In this case, they just opened with us. So I've reset the nano control for being used with Cubase, and I have obviously Nuendo here. Is it obvious? It isn't that obvious, but it is. So, as you can see and hear, I am sending you a test signal. How obnoxious on my side. The reason for this is that I calibrated the outputs to you and my outputs, my inputs, and other stuff so that I know that I am kind of sending you one-to-one my audio minus a couple dBs, not more than 3, because I just don't want to risk it kind of like glitching, like distorting the audio to the stream that you know is not lossless. The other thing I want to do is this. I have a small in the sense of like it doesn't occupy as much space. It should be kind of flush with my camera here. And this, as you can see, is live. There's no tricks. But because I'm recording the Voltage Modular Masterclass, in which I've used tons of Base Station and SQ64, this thing is unbelievable. This thing is beautiful. But I want to point this camera here that you see on my nano control because I think, we might use it. I don't know. Are we gonna use it? Let me see. Select it. Does it work? It does work. So let me do some pointing. This was a perfect framing, and you're gonna ruin it for me, by the way, because I'm gonna have to redo it for the master classes. But I'm altruistic, as you know, so this will happen regardless. So let me get a little bit closer to the actual thing. Is it working? Is it? Yes. Now the question when you have booms, this could be a huge masterclass. This could be huge. Now the question when you have, let's do this, okay? Let's pretend we try this. Okay? So let's pretend I'm gonna do this. I'm telling you, I have this feeling it's actually moving already. The problem when you have booms is that booms never ever behave. Although I have kind of a very good stand here, but they do not, and I mean do not, behave. Absolutely. So I kind of wanted it a little bit like that, like skewed, weirdly skewed, Now it obviously doesn't have a lot of light, so when I do this, See, it's changing its exposure. Are we hating it that it's doing that? I do. Also, I'm changing stuff around. So let's fix that because it should not auto-ish do anything. Okay, hold on. I don't want it to change exposure. See that? No, we don't do that here. We leave risky. That's pretty risky though. That's too risky. Okay. Let me do this. How's your day, by the way? I hope you folks are fine and having a little bit of a better time that I've been having. Let me do this. Because I also need to see the screen, believe it or not. So I'm gonna drop it, meaning this is where I'm gonna be. It's not gonna be awesome in the sense that it's probably gonna look a little bit like weird, but I'd rather have weird than actual. All right, we're almost there. I've got too many turning points here for understanding how this is working. You know what? This is kind of cool though. I can vibe with that. Okay, so over tighten your stance all the time. Good. You know what? I wasn't expecting that. It's actually working. Right. Obviously, I'm overexposed. You won't believe the amount of lights that are here. Can I say something about like why streams are very hard to be super chill with? The lighting. You wouldn't believe the amount of lights that are in this room. That's why I'm so tanned on top of the sexiness itself. So let me read chat. I have to make a sandwich or I'm gonna fall asleep. All right, do it. Absolutely. Then all good here, spend the whole day in the door. All right, that's a good day. That's a good sign of a good day. Absolutely. So we have these little things, we have the pans, we have the little nifties, and we have no tracks though. You know what we should do? We should import our things. So away with the mixer. Why is this mixer so nah? We roll with very, very tiny mixers here. And also very, very tiny channel strips because we want to see sense. Okay. So today we have a song by Mike Reynolds that we're going to mix. Mike is here to enjoy, which I absolutely appreciate on top of actually having been, so kind in sending me this. So it's Techno, which is already a good sign. And I have been spending some time explaining my life as a techno mixing engineer, which in theory wouldn't exist. In practice, it has been one of the most amazing experiences to be around techno people in all of my Berlin times, actually, which is 8 years. So that's a little tear I had to shed. So Mike Reynolds, and then we have PDTO, and this is his tracks. I'm already in love. There's not many. I'm gonna drop them right here. It is 48K before we freak out. Has it dropped them? Oh, yes, of course, because my cursor was there. So I usually do this to completely destroy people who are experts in Nuendo, because they ask themselves, how can this guy work? I do not know. I am so old on Nuendo. It is not even fun. I guarantee you that. But I enjoy that. It's a good thing. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna actually get these here. Okay. You always complain about zooming. I don't see why this would be a problem. So we've got sub. We love subs. We got KD. We got overheads. We got RC. What is RC? We don't know. We don't want to ask Mike because he's making himself a sandwich. He's fetching himself a sandwich. So BIA, Buchla options, CH, double options. Okay, so we gotta monitor this. We gotta know what's going on. But we don't have many tracks. And this, for many people, is like godsend, right? But it can be also a problem. So we take our tracks, which are all here, conveniently wrongly colored. We go to the routing, we make sure we got no outs, and the last thing we want to do, right symbol, says Marco, right? Okay. Thank you for not distracting Mike with sandwich making, fetching. So we do not want these to go to the main outs. We want these to go to, for starters, mix A, okay? As you know, I have mix A into B, into C, into print, into out. Oh, my hand. Cool. So, alright, that's good. We got the effect pedals. We got, I mean, this is a template that I have. It doesn't mean we're going to use everything in here. But we're good. I think we're good. So I have no idea what levels are. So I'm kind of going to risk it. I want to hear the kick first. Okay, you can hear it. I can't. This is unbelievable because my monitoring is muted and I have to reach over that because I have like the biggest studio in the world. My desk is it's built for giants. Also, I have a camera in front of me here, so that's why I can't reach that. The stand has not moved, right? It hasn't. Beck, you hate this song now. That's what everybody says. I haven't listened to it. This is my first time listening to it. I'm going to listen to track by track. I don't want to get an impression. I just want to hear tracks and color them. All right, so we got, that's a tempo. That's good. We want to color this. We know by now what drums are. That's more of a strings thing. But you know what? We're rolling with this. No. Colors are important, people. They're gonna determine how you feel about stuff. Sub. Alright. For some reason, I don't hear that much sub. This is gonna freak Mike up. Like, what? Why? No. Yes. So, sub, okay, very important. Subwoofers are kind of like this, but they're hard to see, so we're gonna roll with these. Okay? Although, they're often this, but they can also be this. In fact, they will be this color today. Then we got overheads, practical overheads. We know that we're gonna go here. Although then you mix it up with kicks, so darker, lower frequency for kicks. Then ambience. Let me hear the overheads, of course. Okay, that's a shaker. That is by all means all modular, right, Mike? This is modular. So Mike wants us to feel that he didn't actually play a shaker, which he might have done. Or he might have bought the most amazing shaker module in the world. Ooh, this is good. This is good. This is air. This is what, you know what? But is it Berliner air? Because that's a leaker. It is. We're rolling with this color. Berlin's actually got pretty good air, you know, better than actually sometimes south of Germany with inversion weather. What are we talking about this? This is a mixing stream. Perk, people. Perks. Boom. Boom. Perk 2. Berliner Luft. Exactly. Knew that. You know, I have never had it. I've never had Berliner Luft. Berliner Luft. But also, you know what is amazing? That I actually might have once with one guy that was doing techno. That is one of my first things I've done. That is also the guy I bought a Power Mac from. I bought it as a secondary rig. Unbelievable. What? This is like, I'm not kidding. I probably had it once, and I kind of remember I was like, okay, that's good. You know how you drink sometimes liquors and you go, that's really good. And so it doesn't match, your reaction doesn't match what you're actually saying at the very end. That's comedy right there, pure comedy. But it's true, because he was like, and then, this was really good. I am gonna go for a color that is slightly reminiscent of bass here. Buchla options. Ooh, this is so good. This is gonna be so good. A picture is building in my head. Okay, this sound, you know what is this? This is a bluish thing. Notice the color of this. Can I spend a second just to show you the names of my colors? Romulus 3, Covenant 3. I'm done. I'm done. CH. Okay, that's kind of a hi-hat. Choked, whatever, hi-hat. You know, I'm rolling with these colors today. You know, this, right? So Buchla options we did. DeBell options. Man, I love this. Now I'm gonna, yeah. We fail, we're okay. Because this is good. Awesome. So we have a little bit more highs, which is good. Where did we put the highs here? CH, right, was also highs. Right, so I'm going for the administrative decision to make these two highs kind of a darker, like a lighter brown, lighter orange, because now I have kind of a better picture. So without using any bussing, I want to hear it and build it, okay? Why is the sub blue? Right, because I chose it to be. Blue. All right, so blue goes up though. Okay, so kick, I'm gonna build the mix, okay? Just like listen to it. Do I start from the middle of the song? Yes. Okay, so have you noticed what I've done? Because I will not be able to redo it, so you'll have to watch the stream. Once you get your ideas on how it is, step number one, you kind of DJ your way into feeling the mix. Because in my opinion, oftentimes, there hasn't been as much muting and soloing in the arrangement as it could be. So when you kind of get somebody else's music, I kind of succeeded in doing what I wanted to represent. When I sat down at my first techno mix, I kind of did this without even thinking. Now I was thinking because I had that memory. I just wanted to show off, okay? But it happened without me thinking. This is 2016, okay? And I am, 35. So I'm doing this first real techno gig and stuff, and I'm kind of muting and soloing, and somebody goes like, wow, this looks like you're DJing that. And I was like, I was just muting things. But it was happening musically for a reason. Now I totally did it sort of like musically, okay? But I think it's important also to get an idea, if you have the artist next to you, about cleaning things up sometimes, because I like when techno goes minimal, and it never kind of does it at first try because you keep things open, okay? So I'm gonna start from the start. Now I'm gonna remove all the solos. It would be awesome if we had like 8 tracks, but we don't because Mike had to make more and so on and so forth. So that's the tracks. It's working nicely though. Can I say it is working nicely? It is. Look at that. I can solo things. Okay. Now I don't memorize which tracks because it looks all the same, but let's go. Okay, the first thing I hear, I know, I shouldn't stop. We should listen to it, blah, blah, dance around. I'd love to do it. But first thing, I believe the kick is a tiny little bit high in pitch. I would want it to sit down a little bit more. And this is could really be the reason why Mike is hating this song on top of all the other reasons. I'm thinking this is what I want to do. So this track needs to be pitched down. And the problem is you can do it very nicely on the synth, on the modular, whatever. It's kind of hard to do on, right? Am I getting it? On these things. But we're going to do it. I'm going to try and do it anyway. There's a couple of tricks to do it, but I'm going to use the worst. It's kilohertz. Bear with me because I keep forgetting. It's pitch. KHS. Why do I always forget that? Frequency shifter, pitch shifter. I'm going to go pitch shifter. Okay? Bia buccal double is modular. Bia buccal and double is modular. Oh, not everything is? Okay. Thought it was. So that's the first priority. I hear it. I want to try and pitch it down. I know it's probably not going to be amazing. Compensation. We go high. We go high. Changes the amount of latency compensation to perform. Okay. Well, okay. Correlate, switch between classic and auto correlating. I think it's okay though. Okay, I'm going to go here without solos. Okay, I'm gonna try again here, for example. Okay, so it's not that much of a problem. Mike says amp found sounds through granulator 3, everything else is a sample pack. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna split this kick and I'm gonna create a pitch down version of it that is also gonna have more sub, and we're gonna kind of blend it like resynthesis with the original kick, because I don't want to destroy the whole thing. Kick sub, what was it called? Like kick KDB. We remove the first KS. I think the smaller grain size kind of help. It's kind of helping. The second one we're gonna do this way. We take, Pro Q. Here's the hate that's starting to build. Marco says, I just bought Faceplant. It's handy that you can also use effects as plugins. Faceplant and Multipass are like my latest year, I would say year and a half. I don't have, a good concept of time, but they are everywhere. And you probably can spot it here. They're amazing. You were told there would be no fab filter. No, there is. I could do MDW or could do Pro Q. Could do what? Mac DSP as well. But let's close these two. I don't want to build splitters, weird stuff, but I just want to design a kick that is lower and that has potential for, you know what I'm gonna use on top of that fab filter? Max bass. Max bass. This is big. Two plugins that usually shouldn't go together. So no, why not? So the second kick I want to build down, and I want to, it is pitched already. Maybe after having it pitched, we'll split it, okay? And then actually I want to split it after. So we pitch it, we max bass it, then we're gonna kind of get its lows right. And then we're gonna probably blend it together. Okay, Now let's see if I find where we go. Isn't it fascinating? It goes the other way. Beautiful. Okay, with the other kick unfiltered. I like it better. So we're generating, I could use Bass Lane Pro, by the way. Does it sound badass? Mike, the artist, dropped like a what? What is it? What is it? 28 minutes in, 26 of which were completely just me joking or telling stories like I'm old. So basically 2 minutes in, Mike says it sounds badass. So we're building a pitched down, theoretically wrong thing with these, okay? We're doing minus 472. Now I'm not going to touch it because the artist says it's badass. We're punching 37 hertz and we're building this. I'm not even sure I want to get original bass in here because when I blended it, it was okay. So I think I'm going to sit it here. And what we want to do is we want to try and see, now I'm going to close these two, okay? We want to see if these two Pro Qs are going to give us, let's put them so that I can see both of them and you also can. They give us a crossover point that works. They don't need to be identical and they don't need to be zero latency, but they don't need to be linear either. So let's try that. So just as a reminder for myself, the kick B is a sub. And it's feeling like we are dropping the pitch, obviously, and it's kind of reinforcing that. Honestly, it sounds pretty good the way it is. Those 2-5 filters here could highly damage that. So mental note, if it doesn't work, we break those two, okay? Let me try and sweep these down. Not gonna lie, there's a sense of cleanness that I kind of like. Now let's try and do the opposite. You hear how weird that is? Absolutely don't do that, but you hear like we killed it. But you hear, right? We're rebuilding it. So how many kicks can you hear in this sweep? I think like hundreds. You know, little details, little things, they kind of work. So you even have too many choices. So how about without? You know what? I'm kind of thinking the first kick doesn't need anything. We're just kind of maybe go with this one. I want to try 6. Let me try 6 per octave. I don't really feel this is making a lot of difference because it shouldn't. Let me try and see if there's something in here we want to take out. Right? Maybe this one. This one, yes. The top, I now made this decision with this one on, so I'm going to leave it. But this guy, no. Actually, to avoid risking it, let me just kind of like also remove the band. I kind of like this. Let me hear something else. I kind of rebalanced the kick. I think that is kind of working. We need an all kicks bus though now. I don't wanna do anything here. So let's do add group stereo. It is mono, but I'm probably gonna drop it stereo anyway because that's how it is. And we're going to all beats. Are we going to all beats? Let's go to mix A first, because now I'm gonna make changes. That sounds so much tougher, but I have no idea how you knew it needed to be pitched down and blended. Okay, that's what Mike said. That's not a joke, I just said that. It's really Mike who wrote. That sounds so much tougher, but I have no idea how you knew it needed to be pitched down and blended. Okay, so create outside folder. I don't even know what that does, unfortunately. So all kicks. No, I'm kidding. I know what that does. All right, so this is a bus. Buses are notoriously dark green. So these two now go to our all kicks, which is probably at the very end, right here. Okay, so does it work now? Right, perfect. So you know what we could do if I wanted to use a control surface? I would do probably, like I would move this track away because it's messing up the order of the tracks. So how do you know it needs to be pitched down and blended? So I'm gonna slow down the thought process. So I listened to the whole thing and I thought the kick was high. What am I looking for? Was kind of floating, was surfing higher on the pitch. Okay, I didn't know if it would be like one, semitone or whatever, but it was kind of right on top. So I wouldn't say like a fifth, but it felt like a tone or a tone and a half. In fact, we kind of ended up there. Now, the thing is, you can't even mathematically know. You just feel if it's up or down because it's a tuning thing. So it's like when somebody's playing and you go like, dude, your G string, which I'm referring to guitar string, is sharp, or is usually flat. It's never gonna be sharp. So it's like that fourth string is gonna kill you if it's not tuned. And a lot of people just play guitar and they're super happy about it. And it's like, it's dropping, tuning. Oh, you're right, it is. So it is a tuning thing, and I heard it kind of right up. That's the first signal I had. Now, I had no idea I would want to blend it, but when I dropped it in pitch with the kilohertz pitch shifter, which comes from their bundle, I kind of liked the smaller grain size, the compensation set to high, and we set like, what else, 4 semitones. It's like, almost, we went almost down to Triton, Triton. We're in the land of the thirds and stuff and more. So this is, when I did it, I heard that the kick was not completely falling down, which is an amazing movie as well. I'm dropping things today like there's no tomorrow. It was, it wasn't completely falling down into place because this is not the pitch shifter algorithm. It's how the kick is composed. There's some higher components and there's some lower components. It's not just a single sine wave that we can do this. So I heard how it reacted and I said, okay, I like where it's going, but it's losing what the other has that I like. It's that forwardness, that edge, okay? So I said, you know what? We blended. How did I come to the idea of having max bass there? I've worked with engineers who used to do this, okay? And there are people that I've actually seen straight there use these type of devices. Sometimes it's our bass or other things in video scoring. When you're doing music and they have, for example, low brass, when they have timpanis, they want to reinforce that. They will go to pitch it down and duplicate it so that you feel you have a lower fifth over fourth. I was gonna say fourth and fifth together, and it came like a weird word, like a fourth down or fifth down. Okay, to do this, they just pitch it. They just pitch those darn timpanis, and they sound off the hook. So it kind of came to me. Have I ever done it with Techno kicks? To be honest with you, no. Does it work? Yes. Are there maybe tracks I should have done this way? Probably yes as well. But I don't want to look back. So we have these now, and I kind of like it. We also now have a sub content that might clash with what the sub was before. Okay, is the distance of my speaker helping me understand that, I always say, oh, Adam Audio, yes, thank you, Adam Audio, for making these amazing speakers, to have them available here in the studio, blah, blah, blah. But it's also physically the distance of the speaker. I'm not diminishing their value and their importance, but it's because I am far from them to really hear the kick develop, okay? So, if I had a smaller room, I would use different tricks. But here, the trick is just, push play, higher volume, and it works. Let's go. So what now? Okay, let me get a feel of ambience against the kicks, okay? I think I did nice in sharpening, like cutting. What did we cut? 370? What? It has to be impressed in my retina for some reason. I have to have seen that. But that area, right? It's kind of muddy. It's amazing how an electronic kick drum has that part. Most of them are not that thick there. So now I'm gonna run the kicks against single tracks. Okay, these guys gonna be important. I'm gonna choose the first guy that goes with them. Well, this is kind of sporadical, so it's like perk 1 and 2. Yeah, this is like them together, okay? Is there gonna be anybody as important as these people? Believe it or not this guy. Maybe this guy. Maybe this goes third or second. Okay, this is also important. This contrasting, this is gonna be easy to mix. We just go by contrast. Okay, and this is more a sidechain thing. My brain is computing all of the things we need to do. These two. So we just drop them above here. I'm gonna keep the kick where it is, where they are, because it's 2, and I'm gonna bring these 2 to level, okay? But now the thing is, my buses are not gonna work for techno, okay? Do we wanna try and hear what it would happen if we were to go to old beats? I guarantee it's gonna explode. So we're not gonna do that, okay? So there's filter bank, filter bank's kind of sitting there. There's a stereo that goes completely mid. Okay, I'm kind of starting to think maybe will work minus reason, because let's send this kick to all beats. And I'm gonna narrate what all beats is. It's where I have all of my mono electron stuff in my scoring, okay? So first it starts with I said fab filter, Colin. Sir, you're under arrest for misnaming a plugin that is absolutely Mac DSP green. So this is just sitting here because we never know, we might need a filter or stuff, and it's gaining down -6. Evening all, hey Nix, welcome. We're mixing techno by our good friend and patron and supporter Mike Reynolds, who is also here. Apparently he likes what I'm doing. Second, we have a stereo here. So I usually go full mono, but I think Mike already did that. I don't care. I'm gonna keep it because if it's mono, it is. If there's even the slightest amount of off, phase of side content, it's getting castrated. Now, this guy, which is Blamsoft, one of my favorite brand for effect. This is probably not gonna play absolutely nice. Do we wanna try it? This is off. Prepare for on. My God, it works. Not that much, but it does work. You know what I'm hating right now? That somebody's gonna watch this video, and it's not you, and it's gonna be somebody absolutely filthy who's making money from whatever, I don't know, something bad, and this person actually steals this and becomes, able to pay the rent more than I am. This is unbelievable. But the quest for education and my call for it, the tenet for music education goes beyond this, because I know the people who are gonna make good use of this are more than the filthy ones that are gonna steal and just run. Okay, so this is my Beats bus. You know, it's just what it is. Now, I'm just gonna adjust the mix. I know I should have done this and gone away. I'm keeping it. This is staying. Maybe this is, you know, getting into my sound, but I like to do that way. Who's here? Okay, this is an MH Sonic EQ, beautiful EQ. This guy knows how to do their stuff. And it's something I had on, no, I had something else as well. No, I think I had a Mac DSP, but it became a Beats Rounder. Let's try this. Now, I'm gonna tell you the truth. It's not really doing that, but I wanna see, are you ready? I haven't looked at the numbers. I absolutely promise you, I haven't done it. I want to see if that green 3, look at it and don't tell me. Look at it and don't tell me, okay? I'm trying not to look at the screens. That one's too small, so I can't really read it. I want to make sure, is the green bell 370? No, it's 200. Okay. So, it's 200. Okay, so... Okay, why did I want? Because I got that impression it could have been 370. So here I'm pumping stuff at 50 and stuff. You know what? I'm gonna keep it bypassed because I kind of like where we are. And then last but not least, this plugin. Again, please make good use of it. This is free. Okay, let's try and go without and with. Okay, I'm getting a feeling. Do these two need to work together? These two. Risky. I kind of like it better with the Tesla because it's giving me that kind of edge, but I kind of heard it as without edge before. No, it's kind of opening it. It's doing what I like from it's taking the distortion, it's kind of blending it up. So where were we before this? I'm gonna bypass everything on the bass. You know what we're gonna roll with? I'm gonna roll with perhaps the Soundtech with its forward sound would also be suitable, says Marco. Yes, which is in my, is it in my, it's already on. Can you believe that? Oh my gosh, we gotta take a look at that. The mix bus is already on. We've monitored everything through the mix bus. Am I fired? You know what? I like it better like this. Let's not get too excited because I want to give Mike's kick the way we did it, kind of a little bit more of a vibe into it. There's no reason why that would not work. Now, let me see the grooves part. The grooves part has a parallel, has DZ tape, good, and has sidechain. Awesome. So grooves is where these two, the perks, are gonna go. All grooves. I know I also have all perks, but what am I doing to all perks? All perks has way less thing. No, I like grooves. Okay, let's build this. This has a fab filter again, which is still a -6. Maybe I'm gonna kill it, punch it up a little bit. Right, I think this is it. What did I do? +7, it's okay. I'm doing -6, +7, doesn't matter, it's clean. It could be +1 in the end. Then there's this plugin here. I love make-believe stuff. Yes, absolutely. And now this. What is this? A little bit aggressive, to be honest with you, but I kind of like it. I kind of like where this is going. And then we've got the Pro C2, which should do side chaining. Is it set? It's set to all beats sending. Okay, let's just tune it. I don't think I'm gonna use it right now. No, I'm gonna use it. They're 1 dB, man. Wow. Are we gonna tune the sidechain? I kinda like where that is sitting, even if it's probably set to a slower song, because this is faster. So mix bus, we have our 6030, which should just get kissed. Let's see. Okay. Which means everything pretty much falls into place. This is an EQ, a little bit of 550, 5.5 kilohertz. And the Sontec, which Marco knew would be a good decision. Can we bypass these and feel how it is? I'm gonna start bypassed. Absolutely, it just completely drives it. Now, why is this setting working for this type of music? The music I've been making in the past year and a half has a lot of sort of like techno influence, and there's a lot of aggressive kicks and things, so this is probably why it's blending. I did some decisions with these on. Nick says, is that a stereo kick? It sounds wide. No, it's 100% mono. And also, just so I can confirm with you, look at the beats bus. I have the width completely turned down. Your feeling of a wider kick is probably the bouncing of the percussion, or you know what would be awesome? That I split the kick, I tuned it, and I did some max bass, you know. And Marco also says, I like the aggressive mode on the Sontec. I think I have natural, or the one in between, pure analog. Let's try aggressive, but. Yeah, but it's too forward. So for the choices I've done with the EQ, it's now pushing things too much. That's okay. Then we have good math, which absolutely does probably nothing, just adding numbers. But I like this error, this preset here. This brings me good luck. And then I'm remodeling this Thursday Mixdown. This was something that I sent to that video game company you very well know, and it was kind of like retouched in a way, and I said, all right, I'm gonna incorporate this so the things I send them kind of have this, and I gotta say I like that. So I'm dropping the gain as well a little bit just because, okay? So you know what we're gonna do here? We're gonna gold clip this because that's where we are. So let me go to gold touch and let's see where this is. Ceiling -8. I don't think we're going ceiling -8. Let's see. 3, 3. I'm gonna reset these a little bit. Oh, but there's a tiny little bit of dry wet, so maybe I shouldn't have. All right, let's try this. Okay, let me try gold air. Okay, well, thank you very much. That is pretty big. Then let me go down here. No, I like gold touch. Mix gold touch. That's what I wanted probably. Yes, I want mix gold touch because that's how I started, and then if we want, we drop it. But people have been complaining like you're clipping from the get-go. I'm not clipping. You see how I'm recovering some gain? We're keeping it here. Without and with, it's just night and day. If we do this, the control click, I think, is to turn gold on and off. Hear it out. I'm gonna turn gold and alchemy on. You know what? I just went a little bit less. Mike says, I'm really surprised you're engaging bass stuff already, but I know I James would approve. It was even on when I dropped the tracks in. I have no memory. I've never heard this before today. And when I dropped the tracks in, the mix bus was on. And we're kind of spot on with the gains as well. Could be a little bit less, but it's okay. So I could trim it if I want. But I'm not going to do it. I mean, in the end, we'll need to trim it because we'll be a little bit loud. So you know what? Maybe we should trim it from the get-go. So let me trim it here. Man, but it loses so much. You know what? Now, this is techno. You gotta be kidding me. What I'm trimming, we're trimming nothing. We're pushing forward to not fall back. So this is it. I like how this is. I want to get these perks to be a little bit more engaging. I'm going to do it on the bus because that's it. All grooves, this here. And I'm gonna try and Pro Q these. I want to get some stereo field without actually engaging the, you know, like weird stuff. I like this. You hear how much compelling this is? I'm making the decision to give them more importance. So let me hear that part here. Right. I'm keeping this without, with. Nice. Like the sound stage, right? It's set there. Nick says, I always start with working from the mix bus first and get an overall better sound and then fine tune more than instrument and bass level. Like backwards. I cannot do that as well. I do that as well. And I also have plugins on the buses here. I have plugins for, you know, all of these effects and things around. So, blah, right? Yes. Now, I'm okay with the ambience, but I have a couple ideas. I would like to drop some sands and see. Like some black hole, some Crotosian, some, let's see, maybe will work, maybe won't. Some amethyst hole, something filmic. I know it is not Mike, but this is me. Let's do this. This might be nice. So who's next now in the order of importance? We got the kicks, we got the percussion. Let me add another sound and decide who's fitting the image right here. This could be this one. This could be, how about this? This could be, these high frequencies are gonna be kind of hard to get because they're kind of sitting too much on top. You know what, this guy, I'm thinking, but let me try this one. Right, okay, so ambient, Bia, and Bucha, we do this. Now, it is, okay, what I'm doing will dictate how the engineer will transform your techno, okay? Because the way I'm doing this has to have kind of a Berlin heritage that I am not fully aware of. But I am kind of analyzing myself, but I'm cheap. I don't charge myself for doing that, $200 an hour. And also I have room for it because apparently all psychiatrists don't have it. But analyzing myself, I'm thinking that giving all of these darker vibes priority in mixing will actually dictate the vibe of it, okay? And so the reason that I'm doing this is just it feels spontaneous to me and it feels dark enough, but I am sure that by doing this, I'm transforming the mix to my approach, which has to have that, I feel it dark collab, that like it's natural now to me, but it has to be the 8 ears waiting in, okay? It is perfectly fine if you do the highs first, although I would say you're crazy and you need to be detained. Absolutely. Like I cannot, it feels like turning with a car without blinkers, which believe it or not, I do use. So Alberto, could you please put a phase scope on the kick to check its stereo spread? Yes. Let's do that. It should not, unless the plugin's broken, it should not happen. So the two kicks are all kicks. Oh, right, hold on. The second kick goes to beats, and this one goes to kicks. Oh, but this goes to mixe. You're right. So maybe this is not the way we want it. So here's how it should be. Thank you, Nix. So the kick is going to all kicks, and kicks is going to mixe, but only the dropped down kick is actually going to all beats because I made a mistake. Okay, so they should all go to all kicks, and then all kicks goes to all beats. But I'm unable to use a computer, and so for that reason, I send them backwards. So I don't even need to. I mean, I'll put a phase scope for sure. I'll put gone. Matt, where is it? Where is this guy that? I can't believe I don't have gone. Okay, I'll put phase scope, like literally. Where is it? Isn't it called phase scope? Yeah, in phase mono? No, it's simple as that. Where is it? Okay. No, now I'm kind of getting like, why can't I find anything? Okay, you know what I usually use, but I don't know if you use that, so. Well, we can do two bus control. Why am I so stupid? This is or phase shifter. Okay, so this kick going to all kicks is mono. +1 straight, okay? So it isn't the routing I wanted, but I'm checking phase on your sources first, okay? So I'm doing this. PDTO KD is mono. How about this one? This one isn't, okay? It does have, Nix, you gotta forgive me, like, I am this close to getting arrested by Steinberg because of how I use Nuendo and Cubase. They're absolutely friends with me, they're fine, but sometimes they just wish I knew how to use their software. Trust me. So I know, but first off, Matt has amazing tools, so some of them are also free, so you should check them. And I got into this thing that I had gone, which I think is free from Matt. I don't know why I don't have it. So the first kick is mono. The second kick is not mono, okay? As a source. Hear me out. Look at that. It's actually going a little bit off phase, okay? But this thing goes to all beats, okay? So those are complex beasts, says Nick. Yes, thank you for understanding. So the second kick goes to all beats, okay? So let's take this guy, the checker, to all beats. Now on all beats, I have the width completely castrated. That's unfortunately the word I'm gonna use. So let's see if this becomes mono. It becomes mono, okay? So I cannot computer, I cannot engineer, I cannot compose. Maybe a little bit composing I will lead to myself that I can. But despite my amazing changes and weird things, not only do I like the kick and I'm gonna keep it, but also it is actually mono. It is mono. It is mono. So my mix bus is not really creating any slight. I mean, maybe the Soundtech is not 100% in phase and things like that, but they are mono. But we also uncovered how brutal I've done this mix. But I'm gonna keep it because I like where it stands and I like how I've changed it. So that is okay. Now, it's unbelievable. What a ride. Thank you for asking that. It just uncovered more and more disturbing truths about my mixing. So let's do the bell. Man, this sound is unbelievably cool. So the bell is gonna be here. And this guy is going straight to mix. We're not sending this guy to mix. We're sending these to all perks for once. Or maybe all amp. There's no reason. I have no pre-made. This could be an ambience or this could be percussion. Well, this will be ambience, okay? Which is usually very, very, very ambient stuff. but it's this one here, O amp, right here. So does it have lows getting cut? No. Okay, good. I'm gonna leave it where it is. I'm gonna work on this right on its track. What I feel it could be is, I'm gonna be honest with you, I have a Pro Q vibe on this one. It needs side content. Let me raise it. Mike's gonna kill me because he doesn't want these plugins. Level changes a lot. It's more of a lead. Might want to skip through a little. Thank you. The importance of the artist. Good. Yes, we needed to, but still. Okay, okay. This. Have you heard it? I'm gonna try it again, without and with. I'm not gonna say what it is to me, because otherwise you think you hear it. I mean, it's there, but without telling you, before and after. Techno. Right there. There's no misunderstanding. What am I doing here is those 400 hertz at plus 9-ish on the fab filter on the side content are bringing so much of that air of the club. It sounds to me as a very unpleasant cementified place with pistons and things. Like, you know, that scene where they find that the head in Eraserhead. It has that sense, and that is the epitome of a techno club, actually. So it is reverb. I'm actually adding ambience to these, and this has to be on the track because it is track-wise. So it will work before and after as well. It's building itself, all right? So here. Absolutely. So when he does the noise, it's kind of spreading in a little bit more. And I'm liking these. Now, I am tempted to create a parallel of these and kind of crash it on some specific areas. Please remind me to do that. Let's try. Who's going to be next? OH, we said. No. We said Bukla. BIA. We said BIA and... no, we said AMP. No, we said AMP, we said BIA, and then Bukla. Got to go, guys. Have a good stream. Thank you, Nix. Thank you for being here. Thank you for uncovering disturbing truths about this. There's going to be a documentary on it. People testimonials like, I wasn't expecting it. But yeah, the routing magic. The last thing you want to do is fix it because it's working. So what we did feels good. So unless you really technically make it wrong, like you're sending your audio to your outputs instead of your mix, then you will not be able to print it. You know, this is fine. Without the house parting, this is fine. So amp 1. Why did I think that amp is actually playing somewhere? Oh, it's very, very mild. Okay. Okay, let's make it more prominent. Okay, so this needs to be the hate of Mike Reynolds. Pro Q all the way. It's my best chance at showing you straight ahead where I want to intervene. I don't want this to be in my face against the kick and against some of the vibes of that stuff. So what I'm gonna try and do is I'm actually gonna take it on the mid and not use the side changes because we need all that, but I wanna free it from being against the kick, okay? You hear it when it's playing. I wanna find where it goes against the slap of the kick. could make it dynamic. Honestly, can I be honest with you? It's just to show off people that you know how to do it, because I think it's fine to be static, but let's try dynamic. Okay, though I like that though. Okay, let's try that without when it drops down, and then we'll sidechain these as well. Okay, I gotta say, I like this. Let me side this. Man, also the side doesn't want to give up though, huh? So I'm gonna make it maybe a little bit here. You know what we're gonna do here on this one? We're probably gonna, okay, so the first thing I wanna do is sidechain the ambience. I'm about to turn, and if I don't keep the car in control, doesn't matter if I'm the fastest one, we're gonna crash, okay? So I'm thinking, it's like a chess game, right? So stressful. No, I'm kidding, it's okay. But it is stressful. But it's also okay. So Pro C here. I want to sidechain these that I normally don't do it. So we need to use all beats. Go. Thank you very much. Right here. Post is fine though. I think we need this because I like what it's doing, but not like that. And what we're gonna try and do is we're gonna zener. I knew you were waiting for this, but it's not gonna be used the same way. So I'm gonna go mid-side processing, don't link the channels, and I'm gonna keep this one kind of like free, and I'm gonna compress the sides of the ambience. Okay, so let's try that here, this part. And that goes hard though. The tolerance here is a little bit off. Let me go, where's the, it's down here. The headroom. So we need to redesign the headroom. Okay, let me try and get it to do something. No, I don't like that, so we're not gonna use this. Kind of think it's okay. There could be some Pro MB action though. Here. Try that. It's so fast all the time. I don't want much, but okay, I like this, and it's moving a little, so let's do that. Let's stabilize this guy. Absolutely, I like it better. Marco says, the zener, I knew it. Zener on the ambience. I tried, but it's just, we needed that multi-band. I'm the only person on earth who doesn't want Fab Filter anywhere near the music, and it's getting all the Fab Filter. It's true though. It is true. I've been using Fab Filter like a lot. It is so fast, it just gets me there. But I like, it's a testament, like you easily see what I'm doing. So like from an educational standpoint, you can use another EQ. It will not matter. Like what matters is the approach of it. Now Pro C or Pro MB would be more like, okay, Pro MB does things the Pro MB way, so that would be kind of a little bit different. But ProQ is convenient for sure. Man, I'm bringing in the BIA. Okay, do we do something nuts here? What? I heard yes. Okay. There's a bus we haven't used, which is all perk, right? Otherwise, I need to do it. Okay, we use all perk for the BIA and for the... Man, I'm not even using queer. I'm doing it one by one. I'm old. Look at that. But I can talk and do that. All perks, okay? These two. We're doing something weird. I want to use, I think, Phase Mistress. I want to open these even more, okay? So I'm going to take the stereo plugin and I'm going to take it here on, I have a multipass. I have no idea why it's there, but what is this doing? Can you guess what he's doing? No, I can't. It's a drum bass mid driver. Signature presets, people, like nothing. Unbelievable. But I don't think that's neat. So Marco says, FabFilter is awesome. I just get tired of everyone in electronic music using only FabFilter for everything. It is true though, but it works. Like some people I made techno with, some of their productions that end up in video games as well, actually, and get a little bit more mastered by companies. And by companies, I mean just one that I know and work with. They have a clipper in Ableton Live, and they call it. You wouldn't believe there is no processing, because it becomes worse, they say. Because they say, I can't mix, so if it sounds okay like this, I'm sending it. And they license stuff. So they've done pretty successful video games. I should do interviews with these people. Boom. Okay. We have time. Let's keep going. So, like, do you feel guilty not to do anything in your mixes and you get more licenses than I do? Right. That would be a question. That'd be how we do it. Anyway, so where was I? So I want to build something that moves more, that has like an auto panner effect to it. So I'm gonna do it riskily with the BIA and Buchla on in solo. Well, they're so mono though. Okay, let's do Phase Mistress. Or is it Tremolator? No, it's Tremolator. Sound toys. Beautiful. It is Tremolator. Okay. So this is gonna be wild though, but maybe works. So what we need to do is use it for the width. And do we tap it to tempo? No, we just want a speed that is weird. Do you have the BPMs, Mike? It's okay though, doesn't matter. Wait, what? It was working. Without? And the depth gives you how much you want to do it. Okay. Again, I've learned it from somebody else. 140. Well, I think I got like this one, and I kind of like where it is. Let me go kicks first. Let me see which track this is. Right, this one. Solo. Because you are, can I say this on stream? Because you are so metaphorically intoxicated that we need to have some things, some movement here, okay? I think it's moving right. I honestly, can I be honest with you? I don't want to touch that. I'm going to touch that. It's gotta be amazing the faces I make when I'm trying to make this work. There's no undo here. People, sound toys, please put undos. I call it, it works. It works. The way Mike arranged this wants this. There's just no way. If I say it enough excited, you will be persuaded, but please, just think with your own head. It is good. This is how it needs to be. This is it. This is it. Now, let me bring in the other stuff because I'm thinking, oh no, let me hear the buchla because it's bass based here. Right? Okay, so I keep closing things. Let's hear the perks before they were like this. Yeah, I think we can even, this is an automation thing. So now I hear that they do work. They would probably kind of even like to have their own two tremolators. But let's do it. And you know what we're doing? We're monoing them by accident. So let's redo this. Unbelievable. So this is what they sounded like. Okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this just to show you. We're gonna automate this and we're gonna make it go mono, and then we're gonna raise the tremolator from 0 depth to what this is. I have no idea. That right there. Okay, let's try that. Okay, so we keep it like this. I wrote it. Did I write it? I hope I did. Can't see that. Oh, yes, I did. Okay, so we try and keep it at 0 just because. And then now we do the second pass. I need to mark where things happen here. I should have a marker. What is it? Bar 65. We do it old school. Okay, so we go here and we start the tremolator in. right, and we keep it here. What have I done? Oh, yes. No? Yes. Awesome. So, like, this has nothing to do with mixing and everything, because we're closing the width, and when we're closing the width, we are opening the tremolator effect, so we're giving it artificial bouncing and depth, which is not coming from the actual sound. But then we also kind of go in contrast. When I went back with a little bit of width, I'm coming back down with the tremolator, and then we do the whole effect, and then we hit it. Second part, we hit it like that. It's just an example. It works. You could integrate these in other sections as well. I'm not saying this is enough, boom, it's done, okay? But this is absolutely bonkers. This is beautiful. I would, like the rates would go as high as possible, The problem is the techno guys that are probably in the room to do this are like two huge cabinets. And that'd be kind of like a problem to kind of discuss our prices like on the fly. So we're good. This would be pro bono. It's okay. So I like this. It just hits hard. Absolutely. You know what? I don't even want to add effects. I just want to go ahead and do OH, because now I think it's the problem is going to be high frequencies, and that's where I'm going to tailor my effects. Okay. I like these the best. So it doesn't matter. I mean I'm gonna start from these one. Oh, it changes. Beautiful, okay. Did you use reverbs? Yes, because I hear ambience here. That is really good ambience, and I think it's like techno spot on. So I'm not feeling like I really need to add tons of strong stuff. So this is nice. Where are we sending these though? Cybers, drums. We haven't used drums. Let's use drums. That's usually where I send my real drums. So we could call it high perk, whatever. Do we call it high perk? Because you're gonna get driven insane by these. Okay. Whole high perk. Okay? So it's whole high perk. Did you throw the sub track out of club? No, I'm doing that. Absolutely. It's like right there. But once I have the picture, I'll have it fill in, and that's a gesture, kung fu style, and it will need to really be where it needs to be. So I'm doing the high frequencies, and then I'm gonna mess with the other stuff. So high perk. Does the high perk have this low thing? Because sometimes I have these right off the bat. I don't think we really need that, but I'm gonna keep it on, okay? Just for kicks. Okay, what is this all pass that is here? It isn't that bad though, right? The drum lever I've designed. I have no recollection of me doing this preset, but I guarantee you this is a preset of mine. I'm not lying. 2, 2, 2. So this is a 2-to-1 multi-band compressor with variable attacks. I think this is based off my legendary, what is it? ML4, ML1, 4, ML whatever, that one setting. I think it's kind of nice. It's probably gonna work best when we have all three of them. We try without. Let's try without and then with. It is kind of working. It's bringing things a little bit, like I would want to have a little bit less side content, a little bit more side, a little bit less mid. I'm gonna go Pro Q again. It would be lying to you if I were to use something else right now. So mid and another one for side. Okay, so we got 2. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take an automator. That's how I call them. They're modulators. Gonna take an LFO. We're gonna select this, and we're gonna have it not the frequency, the gain. Right, not that much. You know what? Like 5%. Way slower. Way slower. Bipolar, that's kind of okay, but not this fast. I think it's good though. Is it? All right, let's do that. Modulation strength, that's okay. I'd like to assess the speed of these LFO, but can I? Why am I missing all this? Before modulation? No. This is good, okay? But a slower feel. I can't believe I don't find this. I'm going to hell for this thing. Oh, there we go. So I don't want to sync it. I want to be slow. Right. Too much. This. Mike said, when I tried to mix this song, it was the first time mixing years and I didn't use your MF4 preset. That's why it didn't work. That's why it didn't. So let's bring in like everybody we have now. You know what I'm gonna do though? I'm gonna do some Vari-Mu, and we had that talk about the massive passive and the Vari-Mu thing. I wanna kind of get a comparison. Actually, I'm gonna use them on top of what I have after Gold Clip. So, but I have to bring the sub in. Okay, so who's making it jump a little bit high here? I think it's the kick that is dropping down, and it's kind of opening that because it's a very reminiscent of what a lot of the live sets do, but it's a little bit too much. So let me drop these Pro Cs and hear if it does it again. You hear it? It's horrible without sidechain. It is this effect, but on guitars I haven't used it, so not bass, so it's ambience. Maybe it's too much here. We could automate this. I think it was this one. Yes, I think it's this one. Okay, let's do it just for a kick so you know what I'm talking about. Completely missed it. Hold on. Where is it? Here? Yes, okay, let's do it from here. it worked. So I don't think the kick comes back. I know it does come back in. So right, okay, but it works. It works because it jumps back in here. So we will need to kind of get it like this. Can I do it? Maybe. Maybe not. Okay. And it sits back. I like that. Okay, it actually worked because it was in latch mode. So that's okay. It doesn't feel that bad now. Let me drop the sidechains back in. I think that was the one that felt jumpy. And you gotta work the sidechains in techno in the middle things, or like EDM as well, because sometimes they give it away. They jump at you and it's louder without the kick. I don't kind of like that. But you can automate that, of course. Right, and you know what? Let me hear. Okay, let me hear who's doing this. We'll automate that a little bit. This guy, okay, perfect. Yeah, I'm doing this for the end, Mike. This is it. And now I'm bringing it to level, and I'm letting you do what you were doing. Wow. The darkness, it kicks in. I had the noise come back up. It was so loud and just kind of misty and all kind of, blinding. And then it took the highs away, and the kick feels unbelievable. What blows my mind, says Mike, here is you haven't put one single EQ or comp on any individual channel. Did we? No, we did the kick. We put on the double. That was like major redesigning. And that was, yes, okay. Well, problem fixing, we did that. But yeah, there's nothing on the single tracks. It's true. But I mean, we built combos there, we did EQ and compress. But I didn't do, I make this better. I make this better. I make this better. I make this better. Oh, now they're all so good. Let's play them together. Bah, and it sounds horrible. You didn't see what I did at the end? Okay, let's hear it again. Mike didn't hear what I did at the end. I took the all ambience, the all amp here, this fader, and I dropped it down because it was too loud, but then I kept building it up before the drop, and when the drop happened, I actually went below surface with the ambience, so it becomes extremely dark, and it kind of emphasized that, and then I slowly brought it back in. So let's try and go before the break. And now it's rebuilding itself. Lovely, lovely. Man, it's sub time. I so want to do a Ralphio singing, but I'm not gonna do it. But it's like every day now I have this thing. I have to stop doing that. No, I wish I was able to do it. I don't do it. So let's hear it in context, straight ahead, subwoofer. Well, yes, but I didn't want it in. I didn't want it in solo. not really kicking in. Oh, I see that. Of course, because it's a mono track. Okay. It's unbelievably mono. Let me try that. 2 bus control. It is. Okay, so obviously Bassline Pro isn't really... I mean, we could kind of generate it, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, I had thinking that was stereo and we need to fix that. The ramble of the hyperspace engines. Yeah, absolutely. So I think if I want to drop it into a bus, that there's no real reason for it. I'm going to do all impacts. I'm going to call these all sub. Just so we have a bus and we can go to the green sub. All sub. No, not all perk. I even miss click stuff now. Unbelievable. So the sub has a filter, maybe. No, okay. But it has that -6, which is bringing everything to our -6. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Let me see where we are with these compressor. I didn't creep up that much, which is good, I think. I'm probably gonna go half a dB, but to be honest with you, I'm afraid this is gonna kind of shift it. So let's try and feed that sub. I'm going to probably fab filter it again. Because it's a sub, what's our intention here? Well, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy that sidechain because I'm thinking it would need to be sidechain. Let me add all beats. Without. Much better, I think, with it needs to be like the kick has to come first, for sure. Why do I have such a hold though? Maybe I don't want that hold. Okay, we need to tailor these two together. Here, these three. I could live with that, but that's a little bit too extreme. Let me try and not lower that. I would do this very extreme, but I would kind of have it go like when the kick blams it needs to be -10 or -9, but the attack doesn't forgive, and then the hold is like 35 milliseconds, kind of like the kick, and then it goes back up. Because we have built something with the sub through the kick, so this is more like a release feeling. Okay, now I'm gonna go without the sub and then I'm gonna add it. I wanna see if I feel something. Yeah, absolutely. It is better. I think that if I keep maintaining this enthusiasm, you're gonna think it's better. Is it better? I think it's better. There's something between the kick and the instruments that needs to be felt, and this sub does feel it. But I want it to be absent when the kick hits because we built that kick. I like that. I will leave it at this, and I will do my... So we did gold clip. Let me see if we're clipping it. We're not, and I like that. I wouldn't want to clip it. I want to retain stuff. Can we try a massive passive mastering edition? And I'm gonna go UAD. I can't type here. Oh yes, it was UAD. Okay, I want to do sparking. So and then a Varimil, which is I keep making mistakes. So manly variable mu. Sorry about that. All right. Do we want to try and do this combo? Because there's been talk, like Mike said, like there's people that do things a little bit different, not just techno maybe. It was just not mixing techno, it was about recording things in. And is this gonna work? Maybe. Let's try that. So I want to EQ. I want to actually compress and then EQ. Or actually, you know what? No, I want EQ because I want to try and see if I can free some stuff up. I don't really think this is gonna do a lot because the high pass is not that. I don't know, but let's try. You know what? Okay, let's do something else. Let me take after gold clip, before the manly, let me take a matte EQ, not orange, blue. Let me go blue. If it works, yes. Can I do mid side here? Right, I can. That was close. So I'm gonna go low cut 1 and low cut 2. I actually want low cut 2 on both. Thank you very much. So this is our mid filter. This is our side filter. Okay, the 2 here, these 2. And why do I want to do that? Because I want to clean some stuff up, but I want to do it like in real time. So is this gonna work? Yes. Can you see all of them? Now you can. Right. So matte, massive passive, vari mu. And I'm gonna dial in first the massive passive. Wow, okay, I love this. It's unbelievable. It sounds really good here. So I haven't pumped the 6 because I think we're kind of silver lining the limit. I'm kind of going, I just want to cut the extreme subs and I kind of want to cut some 150, although we did boost some 270. So we're doing some mild things. That's a shelf thing. I'm going to try bell now, but I kind of liked where it was rebalancing itself. Have you heard the power of that 30 or 39 kind of filter? The highs are unbelievable. I don't know if I'm going to use them. I kind of want to keep 15K, like kind of old school. I know this is kind of old school, but I don't really feel we need 27K or stuff. And I would probably even kind of build this. So let's try bell on the lows, bell on the highs, and you know, this could work. Absolutely. This is it. Now, the highs I will leave to you because some people like it like a little bit darker, some people like a little bit more modern techno. There's so many nuances in just that the boost of our highs, but two very important things. I am boosting the 5 point whatever, no, sorry, 8K and 2 with a bell. I didn't quite like the shelf, which is common for me. I don't like the shelves on the high massive passive, but the conjunction is with the filter at 15K, so we're not really getting a lot of boost up there, but we're concentrating on the 8K, and man, that's aggression factor right there. Beautiful. The second thing is that the lows and low mids are together. You're not really thinking low band, oh, this sounds good, let me do the low mids. When I opened the 270 a little bit more and I boosted it, man, the lows just became insane. The whole thing completely gains saturation. Like, it's tighter, it's all together. I don't even think we need a matte EQ to finish stuff. So let me try the manly here. Man, this is gonna be hard now. Can we top it and make it a little bit better? It doesn't really need to move. So I'm gonna go sidechain. I'm thinking limit. Let's try limit. If it does its thing, it does its thing. So attack is gonna be kind of fairly low, slow, maybe fast recovery, but I need to hear it. So let's try that again. Wow. Okay, so the manly, the Varimu is actually giving it some realism, some officiality somehow. It's giving it kind of like it's subscribing to it somehow. It's giving it more. It's making it more legit without doing much. Compress, almost slowest attack, for some reason just creates that buoyancy that I was looking for. It's not really even compression. It sounds nice. The other way around would be to kind of lower the attack a little bit more and kind of make the recovery faster. But it was kind of like a little bit too cheap a trick, I think. I like this. Let's do a copy and let's try the other one. Well, I know what the next two things going into my rack are. Mike says, yep. I'm gonna vote for the limit because it's kind of a little bit more stable. Do you have the hamlal? That after the VM might be the icing. Do I have the hamlal? What is it, a plugin? I don't, I think. Is it a plugin? Or is it like a track you sent me that I didn't do? Which could be. You know, there's not even that many. The hamlal. That after the VM, so the varimu would be the icing. You know what we're gonna use here? We're gonna use boom. I meant bloom. Right after. Let's try and see if this gives it. Plugin Alliance. Well, I should have it. But let's try bloom because I've never tried it. So it is a limiter. Oh, right. We're not limiting yet. What's our level here? What's our level? Man. Now, there's many ways to skin this thing because it's right placed at the very end, but I'm finding that these Bloom plugin and Spiff and also obviously Soothie, but Bloom and Spiff are like, you place them where they should not be. There's no rules, but you know, where you wouldn't expect anybody to use them, they keep delivering. This is insane. I haven't even dialed these. Now it's late, but on something like a techno track, you know what I'm thinking? This could actually be the start of your mix bus or the end, like we did the end right now. I love how there's updates of everything and I'm not updating because I have no time to just get, you know, version mismatched and stuff, but it should work. But I'm seeing that red dot. It's probably that's all a thing. So minus 13.1 LUFS. We can grow a lot, okay? So what I'm gonna try and do is just take the 4,000. Do I have mix C? Yes. So I'm gonna take the ML 4000 ML4 and I'm just gonna try and really kinda wing it, okay? Maybe this is like sending it to the producer, but it's not an official master. Okay, let's try that. So I'm not gonna make it louder for you. I'm just gonna try and keep that at minus 13 and kind of feel it louder. Okay, so we're not really loudening it up because it would make no sense. This is just an example. It already put it back in context. That part is no longer that loud just because of the compressors, but let me try and play with the other stuff. Is it off? Where am I doing it wrong? Is the expander off? It is on. So, oh, maybe I'm very, very light. Okay, hold on. Where am I doing it wrong here? I'm so tired. Am I on expander? The expanders are down. Why am I not compressing? Or why am I not expanding anything? Maybe I know why. That is impossible. There is no way we're doing this. Why is it not compressing that? Why is it not expanding that? Is it in, out? That should pop up. Or maybe the attack's too slow. There is no way. I'm doing something wrong for sure. There is no way. Did we spot a bug? For sure. Did we? Because I'm okay if it's not expanding, but it should. They're on. The expander is on. Why am I not seeing it go up? What? Yes. I'm stupid. All right, we did it. No. It's like this. There's a range on the expander that I have it in my presets I never touch. Probably like 3 dBs. Okay, we have it. We have it. It completely opened it. Amazing. Now, there's a lot of leeway. The knobs are like millimetrical, but you can really shape these. And I went like 1.41 to 0.71. We can kind of stay a little bit quieter, but man, it completely made it into like, what? Like, I thought it was bright, but it actually has to give. Wow. So before... You know what's the difference in this that I like with? When it's on, it's like I finally got rid of all the people in the club between the PA and me, and I'm like 100% getting torn apart by the system. This is it. This is really like, I don't want to leave this spot because it's got the most powerful energy, the definition of the tweeters. Like, I'm in the best spot of the club, you know? And the other way around, it's like you like the music, but the people are like still hitting you because they need to get to the restrooms. Their car exploded, the police is here, all the techno stuff that usually happens. But when I turn it on, it's like, dude, boom, you're like in that hypothetical perfection of sweet spot of the entire lounge. Like, you're the king of the club, and you have champagnes and stuff and things like that. All legal, of course. So nice. We went like 30 minutes after. What are we even talking about? I'm gonna close it here, and I'm gonna say one thing. The work now would be obviously, retouching and things. But if I were happy with this, automation is where it's gonna shine. Not being afraid of like dropping some things down, but the system is already helping. Anything you drop into it will actually react. So I did some peak reduction just so that we could hear it kind of peaking, and the peak limiting sounds fine. I think it's kind of cool, and it actually gives it a little bit more edge. But we didn't lose sub. We actually compensated for it. We have that comp expander action. I completely forgot that the expander had a range. I didn't even look at that. Amazing. And this tells you like how set up I was, but Nuendo doesn't start with my default preset, and so for that reason I redid it. But I hope that in the process this helped. So people, I am 100,000,000% happy that you were here. I hope this worked out. Remember, we're doing this because of people like Marco, of Mike, of other patrons that aren't here but will watch the video. Without support, the streams do not exist. Just period. I'm humbled that I can do that. Consider taking a look at what I do. I have a Patreon. I have memberships on YouTube. Consider, if you want to drop some coins, that'd be very well used and put to amazing use, as you've seen here. So thank you to all the people who are already supporting, who joined, who are considering to join, who would like and are waiting for whatever money to arrive. I, again, could not be happier to just be in this bubble with you. I hope more people join in the future. I know a lot of people watch the videos afterwards. It was really, really, really cool each time. Modular Mondays, the Thursday Mixdown. I'm planning on doing a Saturday stream, maybe in fall, winter as well. That's gonna be like the Saturday chill back, whatever. I don't even know. I have a name. If you have a name, drop it in the comments and we'll see what to do. But it's gotta be legal. Hey, Costa, thank you very much. I see there's people watching. I don't see the name sometimes. So if you don't write anything, it's okay. You want to watch and chill. You don't want to be bothered. Don't worry, it's fine. But thank you for watching. Thank you for considering even to support me in what I do. Take a look at the Patreon again. There's tons of things. And thank you, Mike, for submitting this track. It was a blast to mix. I didn't use one single effect. I didn't use reverb or delays. I love that, aura that it has, and we brought it back from the guts of modular sounds, of sample packs, and things like that. I am super happy about how this turned out. It reminds me of my time in Berlin and how the Techno family really welcomed me. It was an unbelievable experience that I still cherish with me. I had never mixed techno before, and when I was let to mix that, the people behind were like, this dude. And I was like, what are you talking about? I'm just like trying things. But they loved how I was hearing things. I don't know, maybe it was destiny that I would have to go to Berlin. I did, I paid my dues for 8 years for sure, but I have very fond memories as well. It wasn't easy, but it was fascinating. Part of that, actually a huge part of that, was techno music. So thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I hope this was useful and constructive. We'll see each other soon. I'm gonna send the titles like there's no tomorrow. On behalf of everybody here in my shirts, ciao.